How's it going, everyone? Here we're going to discuss the new Sig Romeo X enclosed Sig Lock optic. So the Sig Lock optic is different than the regular X. It's still enclosed. It's a little bit longer because it has a wedge type of installation method to it. That little lip there is going to go into your slide like so. And then the screws come from underneath. So what that's going to do is those screws are going to pull down on the optic, and then the front little lip there that you saw me wedge into the slide is going to really help secure that optic under recoil. So it's 5 points of contact. You have these little nubs here. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points of contact that are attaching this optic to the slide itself, which is pretty neat. Supposedly it's going to be much sturdier. I've never had a problem with regular installations on your typical optics and slide, but this seems to be, in concept anyways, a lot sturdier, almost like the Koa. And I do believe this came out, this idea came out before the Koa. The difference with this and the Koa is that the Koa wedges into the slide and then the rear sight attaches onto the slide itself, and that's what pressures or wedges the optic on. But here we still need the screws to go through the optic housing here itself. So included in the box obviously is your optic, a little bit of Loctite, which I normally don't use on exterior screws, but since these screws are going on the inside of my slide, I don't want to risk them coming loose. That can cause a lot of problems. So I'm just going to use a little bit of Loctite, which I already installed on there. So I'm going to put that on with some Loctite. They do recommend 18-inch pounds, so I already have my wheeler tool set to that. The slide itself does come with this, okay? You can see those two little pins that are included when you purchase the fuse. So here's that little pin. You're not going to use that if you're using the Sig Lock. So we're not going to use these pins, but I am showing them to you, okay? We're just going to use these screws that are provided with the optic. So all we're going to do, and I don't care about installing things on guns because I don't care about monetizing my videos. I don't care about the subscriptions, believe it or not. I do encourage you to subscribe, but everything I put out is literally to help people out. That's it. I have no intention on going viral or anything like that. So we're going to put in that first screw. We're going to tighten bit by bit, right? We never want to just tighten one screw all the way first. So let's just make it snug. Before tightening, we're going to do little by little so that it is nice and even. Okay. Now that the optic is installed, what we're going to do is do a side-by-side and kind of walk around comparison with the normal X enclosed. All right, so these are two fuse slides. Again, Sig Lock technology comes in through the bottom with a wedge, right? And then the standard one, you come up in from the top like a regular optic with the two screws. So let's do side by side here. So you have that on this side. Let's see them from the back. Okay. See them from the top. You can definitely tell the length difference in the top of this one. All right, so we're going to see how much of a difference that means when concealment is being factored in, right? Because more material on the top here. Let's take a look at the sides on this side. Okay. So why would someone want to go to this versus this? Well, you got that extra locking technology, if you will, right? That Sig Lock, that wedge, compared to just two screws. You got the two screws and the wedge, plus the little pins that are on the optic that lock into the slide as well. So let's take a look at the windows themselves in the front. They're both equally recessed into the housing there. And again, in comparison to the non-enclosed version of the X, the non-enclosed version, the window is actually further out. So it is a little bit more protected on these two versions. All right, so that's basically it, guys. As a reminder, the Sig Lock technology is only available on the Fuse slide as of today. Today is the 18th of March, and go figure, a phone call is coming in, but I do think, yep, 18th of March. Sig Sauer is going to release more P365 slides and P320 slides with the Sig Lock technology very soon. This version actually is the one where you can change the reticle. Let's decrease the intensity, so hopefully it's not as bloomed out. So right now it's the horseshoe style ring with the dot. It's going to be really hard for the camera to focus on that, but take my word for it, that's the ring with the dot. Not what I like. You could also switch. Let me find come on, switch. There we go. Then you have just the dot. Right now it's really dim, but if I go too high with the intensity there, it's going to look like a circle. That's a 2 MOA dot. All right, the camera's not doing it justice, and I can't get this thing to focus. So, oh, maybe there. All right, there's a little bit better. Okay, then you can also choose just the horseshoe. That's just the horseshoe. And see if it stays focused. Show you the horseshoe and the dot. Okay, let's decrease it there so you can see a little bit better. And to turn it on and off, you simply push and hold the up button. It even has a little power indicator there. So let's hold that down. There it is. Hold it down and it turns off. These are fairly recessed in. I've been carrying the regular enclosed and non-enclosed version for quite a while now, and I've been running them decently hard, and I've never had an issue with them getting clipped up or down. So don't worry about having a lockout mode. To my knowledge, I don't think they have a lockout mode, but I could be wrong, but it doesn't matter either way. So there you have it, guys. The Sig Sauer Romeo X enclosed Sig Lock. Would you guys use this optic? Or would you use this one instead? Let us know, and feel free to subscribe if this was helpful for you. Thank you, stay safe.